What's going on, everyone? It's Nick, and yesterday, some of you may know, obviously not that many of you, but you know that I expressed my concerns about the Lakers for the recent skid that they've hit. And with Dennis Schroeder missing time, I think the rest of the season with health and safety protocols, and LeBron James and Anthony Davis not being 100%. But hey, Anthony Davis had his best game yet since coming back from injury. Lakers won. I gotta talk about that now, so before we go any further, please remember to like the video. Only takes 1 second, really helps out, gets the video out to more people. Please remember to subscribe. I cover basketball, baseball, and football on this channel. If you love any of those 3 sports, this is definitely the place for you. And I promise I will make another video about the NFL draft. Just gotta get this Laker talk out of the way first. And also, please remember to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. So, the Lakers got a much needed win against the Denver Nuggets, and the score was only 93-89. That looks like a score from the 90s. Definitely not a modern NBA score. But hey, a win's a win. I'll definitely take it. And hey, the Lakers are not in danger of playing in the play-in tournament quite yet. Well, as in, they're the 5th seed now. So if the season ended today, they would avoid the play-in tournament. But there's still 7 games left, and it's not exactly the easiest schedule. So they definitely got to continue to play with the sense of urgency that they played against the Nuggets for the rest of the season in order to avoid that play-in tournament. Right now, they are only half a game ahead of the Mavericks and 1 game ahead of the Portland Trail Blazers. And it doesn't look like the Warriors are going to catch them, but at least want to avoid the play-in tournament and got to be above the 7th seed in order to do that. And the Portland Trail Blazers are on the Lakers' remaining schedule. I do think the Lakers should beat the Trail Blazers simply because the Blazers don't play defense. But about this game, that the Lakers were able to pull off a much needed win. Anthony Davis, he had 25 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks. He had 4 turnovers, and yeah, we want to keep that down, but 25 points? I'll definitely take that. And 3 blocks? Yeah, definitely take that. 7 rebounds? Okay, I guess that was good enough. And another big difference maker was Marc Gasol. He only played 17 minutes, but like I was saying in my previous video, and I think that aged beautifully, that he's a lot more playable with Anthony Davis than Andre Drummond is. And I think I would rather have Marc Gasol in the starting lineup than Andre Drummond. On paper, yes, of course, Andre Drummond does look a lot better than Marc Gasol. If you're only looking at stats, then yeah, Andre Drummond is clearly better. But in terms of who's more playable, I think it's Marc Gasol, to be honest. Now, am I mad at the Lakers for getting Andre Drummond? No, because they got him for pretty much nothing. I said that when they got him, and I stand by that today. But he was an absolute zero for the Lakers, actually a negative if anything, and Marc Gasol, a huge plus. 10 points doesn't sound like a whole lot. 7 rebounds is not bad, but he was plus 17. Yes, he had 4 fouls, but still. He's a much smarter defender. And on offense too, the fact that he's able to stretch the floor, unlike Andre Drummond, who clogs the paint. And also Marc Gasol can facilitate, something that Andre Drummond doesn't really do. From watching the game, even though plus minus can be fishy at times, because I did watch the game, Marc Gasol being plus 17 and Andre Drummond being minus 11, nothing about that is fishy to me. And while I was never worried about Andre Drummond's ability to rebound, he had 0 rebounds in this game. Like, bruh, really? 0 rebounds? I understand you're going against Nikola Jokic, but 0 rebounds? And hey, Jokic was mostly going off when Andre Drummond was on the floor. At least if I'm remembering correctly. And I know Nikola Jokic is pretty tough to defend no matter who is guarding him, but the difference was very noticeable when Marc Gasol was on the floor. And we'd definitely like to have Dennis Schroeder back. Alex Caruso's a great role player. I love his tenacity on defense, but his decision making in this game got very poor, and he had 3 turnovers. And oh yeah, back to Drummond, I forgot to mention, Drummond had 5 turnovers. So yeah, Drummond, we knew from the beginning that he's not a very good decision maker. But anyways, Alex Caruso, he had 2 turnovers. Yeah, the Lakers had 3 more turnovers than the Nuggets for the whole game. But Alex Caruso, yeah, his decision making isn't exactly the best. That's why he comes off the bench. And the Lakers as a team, they got completely reckless with the ball at times, especially in the opening minutes of the second half. I even tweeted, and yeah, I always forget to do this, but please follow my social media. The links are in the description. But I did tweet out that the Lakers are looking like wannabe Harlem Globetrotters to open the second half, because of how reckless they were with the ball and trying to do too much. And Taylor Horton-Tucker, while he did have a pretty good game, 4 of 7, 10 points in 21 minutes off the bench, but 5 turnovers. There's a reason why Don Dropper calls him Taylor Horton turnover. And no, it doesn't bother me. Like, I talked to him quite a bit, so yeah, none of that bothers me at all. And honestly, I don't see where he's wrong at all in him calling him Taylor Horton a turnover, because he does have tunnel vision. But he's still young though, so I think that's definitely fixable. I'm not saying he's the next Julius Randle by any means, but Julius Randle had that problem early in his career, and look at him now. So I definitely think that it's fixable with THT, his tunnel vision. And Wesley Matthews, he had some pretty big buckets for the Lakers. 8 points, but he was 3 for 3. He didn't miss in this game. And 2 for 2 from 3. Montrezl Harrell hasn't really done much for the Lakers lately. And for the Nuggets, yeah, Jokic had 32 points. But I'm pretty sure a lot of it was when Drummond was out there. I don't know the exact stats. I don't have them in front of me. But I feel like the majority of Jokic's points came when Drummond was on the floor. And Michael Porter Jr., he had 19 points, but I thought early on in the game the Lakers were defending him pretty well. And hey, it was a low-scoring game. Aaron Gordon, though, yeah, ever since I made that video about the Nuggets a couple weeks ago, he's been pretty quiet. And in this game, only 5 points. Although good for JaVale McGee on getting his ring. And that offensive foul on Campazzo towards the end, yeah, AD sold that pretty well. I know, that was a bad call. I'll admit it. But hey, it was a much needed win for the Lakers nonetheless. Can't complain about it. So that's pretty much what I have to say. Any other games I watched? Actually, only the Knicks. And yeah, they got another nice win against the Memphis Grizzlies. And Derrick Rose, he played really well off the bench. I didn't get to see Steph's 41-point game. I didn't get to see Melo become a top 10 scorer of all time. Well, I'm not talking about in terms of ability, but he's 10th on the all-time scoring list. Or also Russell Westbrook's 20-point, 20-rebound triple-double. Like, I heard about that stuff, but I didn't actually get to watch that. I will when I'm done editing this. And in regards to if the play-in tournament should exist, I was not exactly a fan of it when it got announced, but I also heard the other side of things, and it did make me think. Now, for LeBron to say what he said, yeah, he did ask for it to get flamed, let's be real, after what he said last year. But Kenny Beecham did bring up a good point though about how the season was canceled last year, and back then it made more sense, I guess. But also the timing of LeBron saying what he said, yeah, you kind of did ask to get flamed for it. When your team is a 7th seed at the moment and you're not playing up to your standards and you come out and say that, yeah. What he really should have said was, it is what it is. If we got to play in the play-in tournament, just got to go about our business, but something that we definitely want to avoid. But we really shouldn't be in this position in the first place. Like, that would have been the more appropriate way to answer that, in my opinion. Of course, he's entitled to his opinion. So are you. But that's how I think he should have answered it, to be honest. But you know what else, though? I would understand why they're doing that, because it's going to bring more viewership, especially from the casual fans. Because something that Kenny Beecham brought up as well, since he says he's a casual baseball fan, that he loves the wild card games in baseball. It's 1-game elimination. Yeah, you know what? That definitely makes sense too. To be all in on those wild card games because it's 1-game elimination. And you know I'm a very big baseball fan. I talk plenty about baseball on this channel. And yeah, you know what? Yeah, I never actually really did hate the idea of the wild card game. Yet I wasn't really a fan of the play-in tournament when it first got announced, because I felt like, hey, the 7th and 8th seed, like, they played all those games just to get to where they are, and then someone else who did worse during the actual regular season could take that away. But also, you know what, like, if they don't win the play-in tournament, then they obviously don't deserve to make the playoffs anyways, right? They still have to go about their business anyways. But yeah, like, you can feel free to let me know what you think of the play-in tournament, and also what you think LeBron should have said, or if you agree with what he said. My opinion is that he should have just said, we got to go about our business, and we really shouldn't be in this position in the first place, but if we are, if we do have to play in it, then we just got to go about our business. But hopefully LeBron can get healthy in time for the playoffs, because the Lakers are definitely going to need their full squad in order to have any hopes of repeating. And right now they'd be playing the Clippers in the first round. We wanted the Battle of LA at least in the second round, if not the conference finals. But that's just what it is right now if the season were to end today. And how I'm feeling about the Lakers championship hopes now after this win? Yeah, I feel a little bit better about it after beating the Nuggets and seeing that Anthony Davis is looking like he's finding his way back. But I still won't say that the Lakers are a safe bet. Yeah, you can say that betting against LeBron and AD, if they're healthy, is not a safe bet either. I agree with that too, but I honestly don't think that any team in the NBA right now is a safe bet. That's the end of this video. Thanks for tuning in. You can feel free to let me know what you think. 7 games left in the season. I hope that the Lakers continue to play with the sense of urgency that they played with against the Nuggets. I'm not going to lie, I was scared going into this game, but I'm glad the Lakers got the win. So, hey, please remember to drop a like. Only takes 1 second. Please remember to subscribe if you're still here and you still haven't done that yet. Please remember to hit that notification bell, and I will see you next time. Peace.